And cats would complain, and I would say to them, why come into an environment, complain about being in an environment, but still do the work? I said, if you don't care that much, go home. Like if you don't want to do it, go home. Go back to mama and see where it lands you in 4 years. Like if you don't want an education, which is the great equalizer in life, go home, go sit on the porch. Like if you don't want it, if you come into an environment and complain, I'm a firm believer, if we're here, why not try to be great at it? If we're here, why not try to push each other to the point to where we see what we're made out of? Because I'm a firm believer, if you got a unit, before you go to war, you got to know what you made out of first. Because you might come up against a cat, and the cat to the right of you, if you don't know what he's made out of, he might flee. And you left the fight on your own, but you thought you had a warrior, like War Eagle, you thought you had a warrior there with you. But when it got hot in the kitchen, you thought you had a warrior, and they flee. And so you got to press each other to see. I got to see if you're really in it to win it. I got to see if you really care. Like I'm a firm believer, team is a certain level of loyalty and purpose to something that supersedes every one of us. Meaning what we're working for is greater than any one of us. And so we got a level of accountability and responsibility to this thing because we've been blessed to be able to do it.
It's another early morning. Every morning, every day of our lives, we have choices to make. You have the choice to stay in bed, to say, forget it, I'm not gonna work out today, or forget it, I'm not gonna work hard today. You always have a choice every single day of your life. So,
done today. No one cares what you did yesterday. You gotta change your dialogue. The I used to be mentality doesn't work. What have you done today to better yourself?
Today's another day. Today's another day that I'm faced with another choice to make. So I'm making the choice again to put my shoes on early in the morning and get active again. Make the right decision.
Life is one big tug of war between mediocrity and trying to find your best self. So there's tricks to all this crap in life. Life is one big head game. One trick in this situation is, so I didn't want to run, so what did I do? I figured out a couple of things. You have to sometimes let mediocrity think that you're giving into it. So I said, you know what, instead of going for a 20-miler, I'm just gonna go out for an easy 6 or 7. What that did to my brain was it said, okay, mediocrity thought it won. So it let loose a little bit. It let go of that, oh, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be okay, it's not too bad. The second you get to mile 2, guess what happens? Greatness pulls mediocrity in the fucking mud. Get out there and get after it.
You wanna go in about the right mindset, the right gear. In combat, you wear body armor. But what we do wrong is we don't strengthen our minds. You gotta strengthen your mind, take control of that. So then when you get out in the real world and they fuck you up, you got protection. So I'm about 15 miles from home, and I often talk about taking souls. This morning, this person, I usually train alone. This person wanted to run with me. And I said, fine, we'll run 15. This morning comes, there's storms coming in this way, and the person calls and said, hey, why don't we do it tomorrow? Taking souls is when I told the motherfucker, I'm gonna run 15 today, and I'll run with you again tomorrow. That's what taking souls is about. Don't worry about the elements and what's going on. You gotta get out there and get it. He wasn't the only one that thought about taking the day off, because the storm is coming in right now, and there's not a soul out here but me.
I knew I was on a mission, on a very specific quest, you know? It was bigger than just wanting to be a musician or do movies. It was about finally showing the world what Scott could do. I wasn't the best student,
At that moment in your time in life, you feel like that's all that matters. High school, it's like, oh, this girl doesn't like me, this guy here, and it's all this drama, and you go into the real world and you know it's about just trying to make your mark in the world. And I never got a chance to do that academically. So I had this fire to pursue this musical career.
If you only have 24 hours in a day, your success is dependent upon how you use the 24. You gotta hear me. People talk about Oprah Winfrey, Ted Turner, Warren Buffett. Listen to me. I don't care how much money you make. You only get 24 hours in a day. And the difference between Oprah and the person that's broke is Oprah uses her 24 hours wisely. That's it. Listen to me. That's it. You get 24. I don't care if you broke, you grew up broke. I don't care if you grew up rich. I don't care if you're in college, you're not in college. You only get 24 hours. And I blew up literally. I went from being a high school dropout to selling 6,000 books in less than 6 months. What happened? My 24 hours. I was like, okay, Eric, you got to get a grip on your 24 hours because you're about to be broke for the rest of your life. And that's all I need you to do for me. I can tell you all about your life if you just write down your 24-hour schedule for me. You let me look at it. I can tell you where you're going to be in 5 years. I can tell you where you're going to be in 10 years. I can tell you where you're going to be in 20 years if you keep that schedule.
Some of you are doing okay, as you say, but want to go to the next level. But none of you are going to reach the next level unless you are committed every day to be better than yesterday. I know none of you are happy with average. Average is not for you, and average will not be you. You might be at a great level, but you must understand there is always another level at the same intensity, week in, week out, and expect improved results. The world doesn't work like that. You give more and you get more. You must understand that despite perceived limitations, if you push yourself, you can always raise the bar in your life. You have to always raise the bar. First you set the standard, then you raise the bar. Don't you dare quit. Don't you dare settle. Don't you dare back down. Not today or any other day. When the tough moments come, never forget. You are in that moment writing your legacy. In that tough moment, you are setting the standard for your character. Do you have the character? You do. Never forget, never quit. The key is hard work. The key is found in my grind, in my hustle. The key is found in believing in myself. The key is believing in myself when no one else does. The key is in my obsession with reaching success, my obsession with reaching my targets. The key is outworking my rival. The key is sacrificing my today for a better tomorrow. The key is in getting out of my comfort zone and pushing myself past perceived limitations. The key is in daily growth. The key is sticking it out when times are tough. The key is being tougher than my life is. The key is using my pain as fuel to drive me to success. The key is in my goals. Goals so big, they scare small minds. The key is in my vision. The vision that keeps getting bigger every time that I conquer my last goal. The key is in taking responsibility for my life, no matter what happens, no matter what test life throws my way. The key is in doing whatever it takes. The key is within me. The key is within me.
So I just want to show you something. When I was broke, If you look at my schedule, you'll see that I woke up whenever I felt like waking up. That's what you'll see first. Now, I told you before, if you watch my videos, I studied the top millionaires in the world, and I discovered that they all wake up at 3:30 in the morning. You say, Eric, how did you find that out? Because they were all talking about the 3 o'clock news. I didn't even know news came on that early. I'm gonna be real. Right? But watch this, 3:30. I started thinking, I'm like, wow, if they're getting up at 3:30, and everybody else is getting up at 8 and 8:30, the reason why they're successful is not because they're smart, but the reason why they're successful is they just got a 5-hour jump on the world. So I started first at 7 o'clock, and then I played a trick on life. I started getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then you know how the time changes? Well, I pretend like it was still the same time when it went back. And I started getting up at 6. And then the year after that, when the time went back again, I just pretend like it was the same time, and I started getting up at 5. And then the next year, I started getting up at 4, and now I get up at 3. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been getting up at 3 for 6 months, and it's getting bad now. Sometimes I'm getting up at 2:15, sometimes 1:45, and I'm starting to see everything in my life change. Why? Because I'm putting more time in, and guess what? If you get up at 2 and put in work, if you finish, you can take a nap.